Welcome to the 67th broadcast of the T-ROH show. This is your host, Keith. Got John with me.
Good morning, folks. Be glad to be here with you tonight. Hope you enjoy.
All right, we got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get started. Let me do some sharing of screens here, like we always go. There's one just, we're going to cover just a few tidbits here and there, folks, so just um, be patient with us. All right, I just wanted to bring up this one thing. It kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. You've got 1,402 subscribers to the YouTube page, right? And you got 328 listens. Come on, really? Somebody's not messing with the numbers. If you have that many subscribers, you would at least have at least 1,000 listens. But not that we care. Just wanted to let you guys know that they are messing with stuff. Got another thing on here that was found by one of the general postmasters. I don't know how he found this, but this is called the Cannibal Club. Believe it or not, this is specializing in the preparation of human meat. The Cannibal Club brings the cutting edge of experimental cuisine to the refined palates of LA's cultural elite. Our master chefs hail from around the world of the opportunity to practice their craft free of compromise and unbounded by convention. This is a club, so it shows you what the powers of private membership associations have. Our exclusive clientele includes noted filmmakers, intellectuals, and celebrities who have embraced the Enlightenment ideals of free expression and rationalism. On event nights, avant-garde performance artists, celebrated literary figures, and groundbreaking musicians entertain our guests. At Cannibal Club, we celebrate artistic excellence as the natural and inevitable expression of the unbridled human spirit. I'm sorry, that's so sick. It's unbelievable. They even have the staff, and you have events. And if you want to eat somebody, here you are. Then they go, whenever a taboo is broken, something good happens, something vitalizing. Cannibal Club, folks. Believe
Thanks, but no thanks, Keith.
this is the sickest thing I've ever seen. But they do have. Oh, here's the cuisine. I wonder if they have like Joe. Delicious meat sauce made from fresh heirloom tomatoes, served in multigrain pen noodles. I would like to know where that sirloin steak comes from. Liver and mushroom. I'd like to know where that comes from. Placenta lasagna. Ew, nasty. Placenta lasagna, man. This this is some sick stuff. They even have a staff. Oh, here you go. There you go. Oh, he looks like a nice dude. Look at him. He's an art director. But at any rate, yeah. This is right out in the open, and you know that your country's in trouble when they have the Cannibal Club. Sick, sick stuff. All right, let's get down to business here. Oh, did you want to talk about Syria yet?
Yes, sir, we can bring that up if you'd like.
All right. Um, we found some, I don't know, crazy stuff, guys. But the um, the Syria issue is, I think that there's something else behind that, because I saw a story the other day where it says that the chemicals were not made in Russia. We're getting conflicting stories all over the place, but the the chemical weapons were not made in Russia. Actually, they were made in the U.S. and Britain. And they said that they bombed some chemical factories over there. Well, if you kind of think about it, if they do a chemical attack, you got to kind of hide the evidence. So the best thing to do is bomb the chemical factory while nobody's there to destroy the evidence where the chemical attack came from, because France, Great Britain, and the U.S. are coming up and saying that Assad did it, but they have no evidence. And they actually bombed it before the inspectors got there to find out. Now they're asking for the United Nations to help them out. Alex Jones is livid over the whole thing, and we actually sent out a international bill of exchange, or I'm sorry, international public notice. I don't know why I had that in mind. It says, it is noticed that the unlawful attack on Syria is a serious violation of the law of nations, not only because the United States, the United Kingdom, and France are engaged in military occupation of the states of the Union within the metes and bounds of the United States of America. The attack on Syria was unprovoked and has nothing to do with a chemical attack on children. The United States, Great Britain, France has once again crossed the threshold into war crimes, and therefore the government of the United States of America hereby condemns all military force against Syria, whether it is being committed by the United States, Great Britain, or France. These actions taken by the United States, Great Britain, and France may reach the level of nuclear confrontation with Russia and war with China. See, we saw a China sent a destroyer over there. Also, they're helping Russia. The government of the United States of America and the states of the Union are hereby classified as neutral and shall exercise neutrality within this conflict, or with this conflict, or any other war crimes committed by the United States, Great Britain, and France, past, present, or future. However, reserve the right to hear complaints of war crimes against the aforementioned entities within the War Crimes Tribunal. It has been this office's experience, this is the office of the governor speaking, that these wars are growing tiresome and the people themselves have expressed the same speech over and over. Everybody is just sick and tired, which is why we came up with um, World Empathy Day. Remember World Empathy Day. The website is there. Join it however you guys want to work it out. However, those that have their fingers on the button of nuclear weapons are determined to use them. And why is that? Is because the populace is growing aware and they're not believing these guys anymore. So what they have to do is they have to wipe those people out, all the ones that are awake, by the way, and they'll get a few casualties here and there, but they got to wipe them out so they can go back to their trickery and go back to the way it was. They're trying to reverse the clock. That's all that's happening. Therefore, their idiocy and sociopathic mindset shall be their own condemnation, whether they preach they're saving the world from itself or not. What they're actually believing here is that if they destroy most of the people of the planet, then they're actually saving the planet because of the resources. My personal opinion is they just want the resources for themselves. But what they're wanting, in other words, they just want to get back to where they can lie to people again, and the people believe the lies, and everybody's back to the way it was. That's all I see. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know, but there was actual movie about it where the guy was saying that if there was a virus that went around the world and destroyed a bunch of people, that they're actually saving mankind. That's how they see it. Kind of a twisted way to look at it, but it is what it is. Says no one appointed those sociopaths to carry that responsibility, and therefore is nothing more than murderers and thieves, and the government of the United States of America, nor the people of the United States of America, nor will the people of the United States of America suffer that spiritual liability of their war crimes any longer. And that was due to be classified as neutral and shall exercise neutrality. We're not going to get involved in this. The government of the United States of America is not getting involved. We're going to observe, and you can deal with we will hear if entities, in other words, other countries want to, we're going to prove the status, by the way, here in just a little while, but just remember, I'll get into that in a minute, but the War Crimes Tribunal can hear complaints on this, and we are neutral, which classifies us as a neutral party. And therefore, the War Crimes Tribunal can remain neutral in any of those complaints. So it works out best for everybody, and it's unbelievable. You can get the official copy here if you'd like. You just click that; it goes over to the National Great Registry, and the document opens up, and you can read it if you'd like. So, that being said, let's go ahead and click that. Another story came out, and I'll show you how to get to this. Okay, first you just go to General Post Office. It's generalpostoffice.international right here. Generalpostoffice.international. It's spelled out, and it has an HTTPS on it. You click National Great Registry. When you do that, this will open up, and you can go to special pages. Okay, just click special pages in case you have any issues finding anything on this website. This is the National Great Registry. Click all pages, and all the pages are here, and it has entries in basically everything. This is the States of the Union of the United States of America page. Okay, that's the easiest, quickest way to find it, because the URL is very long. nationalgreatregistry.generalpostoffice.international. Nobody wants to type all that out. It's easier just to go to General Post Office and click it. Okay, here's the state of Alabama, state of Arizona, state of Arkansas, blah, 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 blah. Okay, what did we do here? It says international public notice. All of the states of the Union of the United States of America have been declared into existence, meets and bounds recorded and addressed. Has anyone ever noticed that none of the states have its own address? The state is added into an address, but it doesn't have its own address. So that was done on purpose by what we call the sick-ass powers that be. They didn't want any of the countries to have an address. France does not have an address. Neither does England. Neither does Germany. Austria, none of them. Spain, they don't have addresses. They have a name, and they have a map and the meets and bounds, but they do not have a specific address. So all the states of the Union of the United States of America have been declared into existence, addressed, and territories recorded right here. I'm going to show you where all this comes from. So the declaration into existence process was first declared into existence by a verified general postmaster of the General Post Office of the Government of the United States of America. Individual David, he was on, I can't remember his name for some reason. A natural area code was established so the state would have an international address. Now, here's the NAC system link right here. It's an international NAC society. They've had a couple of countries. International is recruiting corporation members now with limited power of membership for each country. India, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, UAE, Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc., do all the implementation projects in these countries. What they're doing is they're going around and giving everybody natural area codes. Okay, it's a revolution in world addressing systems. It was announced by, not going to pronounce that, Shen, president of NAC Geographic Products Incorporated, a revolution in world addressing systems. These are legitimate addresses recognized everywhere. And all it is it's a 5-digit number letter series, sometimes numbers, sometimes letters, just depends. And so what we did was, here's the process we went by. There are many countries that use the NAC system, and the NAC system is fully recognized by the Universal Postal Union. It says, second, all declarations had the meets and bounds written within the declaration that were certified by a certified surveyor. Now you're going to probably want to see that. So I will show it to you. MENVR. Here we go. Okay, this was done back in 2010, and it was Harold Nathan Epperson. He's a professional land surveyor and a certified federal surveyor. And he is on the state of Arizona, February 9, 2010, and was sent to the committee. Okay, and here were the meets and bounds descriptions that we had, all of them. State of Alabama, state of Arizona, Arkansas, the whole thing. State of Colorado, state of Connecticut, state of Florida, and it went all the way down. There's 92 pages of this. And we've had this for a long time. We did transfer these back to the states. Then when we did that, the next move was to create an address for it. So the way to create an address for these was to go to the NAC code. Go ahead and move this down a little bit. Go to the NAC locator. And basically, all you had to do was put state of Colorado. And let's click the map. of a sudden, it's right in the middle. Now, Devil's Head Lookout took the middle of the state. We noticed this in a lot of the states. So we went ahead and put a NAC code in there. So if you bring that out and keep bringing it out, you will notice that once the state is forming within the picture, it was close to Denver. So Denver was extremely close to the middle of the state. You have Colorado. And notice that here's the meets and bounds right here. And notice it's sitting in the middle of the state, right there. And you do that all around the country. Nebraska did the same thing. And you can find all of them over at generalpostoffice.org. You just go to this, the one Supreme Court Judicial Districts. You just click this link right here. And they're all sitting right there. So you want to just bring it down.
Can you show them, Keith? Can you show them, Keith, where some of the states have been, the companies in different countries tried to claim the states over here with an act?
Yeah, I can't remember which ones. That's the only thing. I don't know if it'll take too long. But
Florida was one of them.
Yeah, some Israeli companies claim the middle. You could just go to this NAC locator and just basically put on the. Here, let's put.
Florida, Kentucky Fried Chicken tried to claim Florida.
Right. Let's see if state of Michigan. It's yeah. Let's see what this was. This was Ferragamo, unnamed road, Boone, Michigan. So whoever Ferragamo was trying to claim Michigan. As I said, they didn't have the addresses, and that's what the problem is when you don't have an address for your state. People come in and claim it. Nobody tried to claim Georgia. Let's see what Florida does. Okay, that's funny. Ever since we did this, a lot of these, there's Cotton on Avon Park, Florida, that tried to claim the middle of the state. Let's see what state of Kansas. There was a couple of them that we saw. It was interesting. They were trying to claim the state by claiming the middle of it. Oh, boy, they removed a lot of these, didn't they? Ever since.
Yes, they have. They removed their claim. Because Colonel Sanders had tried to claim Florida, and it wasn't on there a minute ago.
Right, I remember that, and we kept going through them. Wow,
and
man,
so
they removed a lot of these.
A lot of the Asian countries are coming over here and claiming the states.
Yeah, they were claiming the middle of the states.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can find the addresses here. Okay, so if you just click it, state of Kansas, this is Judicial District 17, and here's the address. That's the address of Kansas, 6RRNFPH1RJ. That's it. Now, if you put this in here, and you go back to the NAC locator, hopefully that will, there we go. You got to be real careful with the spacing. Okay, that should be right in the middle of the state of Kansas. And I think we just saw that one. Okay, so this is how it was all done. And we had to go through that and then create the declarations. So when you go to the declarations, this is the States of the Union. If you just click on this, let's go to the state of Arkansas. And you open these up. It was prepared by David Bryan Smith. So it is declared that the state of Arkansas in the year of 1836 hereby exists within the following meets and bounds to wit. Then you have state of Arkansas and has the statehood section and everything. It is further declared that the state of Arkansas shall exist within the metes and bounds and seaward boundaries of the United States of America, as surveyed and established within the Articles of Confederation, as amended the 5th of August, 2015. It is further declared that the official mailing location of the state of Arkansas shall be natural area code this, okay, which is this right here. Longitude and latitude is there. Okay, that the Constitution of the state of Arkansas in the year 1836 shall be the Constitution of the state of Arkansas, and that all nationals of the state of Arkansas, also known as American nationals, shall be bound thereof in accordance with the law of nations. So, now what that does is anybody that claims their nationality and lives in the state of Arkansas, it gives it a permanent population with an oath and affirmation. That sets the states up, is what it is, and helps them establish themselves. So it is further declared that the state of Arkansas shall be a perpetual member of the original Union of the year 1774, as amended on the 15th day of May, 2017, for the purpose that the state of Arkansas and the nationals thereof shall not be landlocked, wherein the metes and bounds and seaward boundaries of the United States of America shall be a part of the national boundaries of the state of Arkansas. It was signed by Chief Judge and Secretary of State, and the declarant, which was David Bryan Smith. And it was recorded. And here is the official publication record. So you got your states back, folks. So, and all the links to these are here. So, like the one Supreme Court, the one Supreme Court is the original courts of the people. Everybody always says, "Well, where's the one Supreme Court?" Well, look in the mirror. You're the ones. That's where your judicial power, like when you have a government, your judicial power is granted to that government, whether it be a court or whatever. You never granted it to a private membership association. It's supposed to be a public body. So when you didn't grant that to the American Bar Association or the Judges Association or whatever it was, your judicial power, then they would be considered trafficking you. And that's just common sense in international law and the law of nations. So you can do this. State of New Mexico Judicial District 32. These judicial districts came from the Northwest Ordinance in the first paragraph. So the residents and American nationals can use that judicial district until you get your states put back together. You have your elections and all that. You can also get become a part of the North American National Party. Matter of fact, why don't I just do this? Be a lot easier. Click. And we do have state chapters, so you don't have to go through and establish a party, or it's already there. The national party with the general postmasters, we don't involve ourselves in state elections. The state elections do not involve ourselves in the national elections, so we're separated there. And this is the state chapter NA party members right here. There's a list there, and you can. This was our voting booth for the last election. And then we have our own platform and all that. You can join a chapter if you want. So that's basically it there. And it deals with, the platform, deals with basic common sense. Each chapter can have its own platform on what you guys believe and what you want done in the republic form of government, your state, and all that. So that being said, people are going to be asking, well, who cares about this? What standing does it have, and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into that. So just remember, States of the Union of the United States of America. And if you want to join the union, you can do that. It's a public union. It's not a like a Teamsters thing. And you can ask questions and do whatever you want to do there if you'd like. And there's a lot of people. This thing's growing every week I go in there. The number keeps going up. And this takes a little while to come up. There it is. And all you got to do is just don't have an account. Join the network by entering your email address. And you can register that way. Okay? And you're not stuck in there. If you want to leave, you can leave. We don't care. Doesn't matter. If you don't like it, go. If you do like it, stay. And this is our Continental Public Bank, and this bank is growing every day. We get at least 2 or 3 people coming in every day that opens an account, and they always ask, uh, where can we use them, and it's whoever does it. We added in anti-money laundering policy, anti-terrorism policy. We posted the Superintendent of Finance. This is operating procedures manual, and a GPOD 3 and another operating procedures for the Continental Public Bank. Okie doke. And if you don't know how to use this site, here's the instructional video. And if you want to receive Continental dollars in the mail, on the cash part of it, we've actually streamlined that, and it's a lot better now than it was before. We just have 3 packages. I would suggest that you get the 2,500 Continental dollars paper version, because it's around $2 or $3 difference between these 3, but you get more money. Okay. So that being said, let's get back to these NAC codes. Now, why is it that people want to use a NAC code? Let me show you why. This is a report that was given to us tonight. It's just a motor vehicle report. The man that let us use this report to show you, he is on the call tonight, is Leonard. And this is nothing more than Department of State Bureau of Driver and Vehicle Records. It's a record lookup unit. So they put all the information in there, and you got to pay for it and everything else. Folks, did you see it yet? I don't know if you've seen it yet. Here, let's bring this up to 99%. Let's see if you see it now when you're looking at this. Just give you a second. See it yet? He's foreign.
You also want to take notice that this is on the Michigan State letterhead.
That's right. And you see there's the NAC code. Okay. And the reason why, and what you got here, this is canceled for non-residential address. Right here. And you know what people are going to do? Well, can I do it myself? I need to do it myself. No. You got to use government to do it, folks. It doesn't work that way. It says license canceled for non-residential address, reinstatement fee not required by law. This is 2/9/2018. Our process works. What we're doing is we're delivering your person out off of shore over to the states of the union. You get a new address, which is this right here. You claim your NAC, and we end up going through the process, and you're back in the states of the union, and you're considered foreign. Right there. We're telling you, you're foreign to the British American Union. You guys are, your person has been trafficked to the British American Union, it's been trafficked to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and you're considered a U.S. citizen. We keep telling people this. And so now you don't have to believe us. This is their freaking letterhead. Right there. There's their seal right there. Okay? Foreign. Non-residential address. So anybody that you have, you can show them this particular T-ROH. If they want to sit down and say this is all BS, it's right here, folks. It's their record. Okay? The reason why is you're American national. You deal with international issues because American nationals can represent their own country, their own states, or they can do it through freely chosen representatives. That is a classification in international law. So if you're not a part of the offshore trust, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, or Philippines, we've gone through all that in the earlier T-ROHs, then you're considered foreign. Right here. Okay? That's how this all works. And this is how you you slowly use your NAC code, you slowly use all these things, you start changing your addresses around and things like that, because it's up to you actually to change your status. We can only do so much. But you have to, as an American national, you're taking on your own responsibility. Now, Leonard has gone around and changed a lot of things and accounts and things like that. He's changing a lot of stuff over to NACA. And once that happens, you no longer, and it's all registered there, you no longer are a part of that trust. And your SSN goes, and you can even, whatever the SSN, you can pop it into a trust. You can give it to the government of the United States of America in trust and just let it sit there. Nobody, you don't have to use it anymore. So that being said, here you are. Now this is the Bureau of Driver and Vehicle Records. So, and it's there in their Department of State. That being said, folks, we have a system that works. It's been put together extensively for the past 8 years. Our processes work. Whenever you do things, please be patient. If you, we do not have, the government of the United States of America does not have any agreements with Islam. And what we're trying to tell people is this: you could be Muslim all you want. That's no problem. What happens is that you're actually joining another nation. It's the same thing that when you're Catholic, or if you're Roman Catholic, you are a part of the Vatican. You're subject to the Vatican monarch, which is their pope. That means you become foreign to your country. And we keep trying to tell people this, and they're not listening to us. So Islam is a floating nation. Egypt became Islam when it was a democracy before, and actually had a republic. There was a republic there. It became Islam. So Egypt, the country itself, is no more. It doesn't have a permanent population. When the Muslims came in, they were under Islam, and they turned it into Islam. So whenever somebody comes in and starts, claiming the Bay or claiming something else, we know that you're a part of the Muslim community and you are under Islam. And nothing within their agreements comply with a republic form of government. They set up caliphates, just like Britain. Great Britain is no longer Great Britain. They're actually have set up a huge caliphate there, and everything is being run by Islam. So England is now Islam. So if you really look at it, England, the Great Britain, attacked Syria. If Islam attacked Syria, if you get it. But at any rate, what we're trying to tell you is a lot of countries use religion to recruit new subjects, citizens, however their country is set up. That's why Roman Catholics are subjects of a foreign monarch, which is the Vatican. They're not U.S. They claim to be U.S. citizens. I think they're in that trust, but they're not American. It's different. There's a big difference between a U.S. citizen and an American. So what we do is that once you do a resident declaration, we deliver your person through the General Post Office back to the States of the Union, where you can now claim to be an American, separate from U.S. citizen offshore trust. And as you can see, it works. We've had a bunch of evidence that we've published over the years, but somehow it just kind of gets shoved under the rug. I don't know how people just ignore it. But anybody that's calling you crazy, just show them this program. Not crazy. We know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. And you might not want to believe processes and these crazy processes that your all cap name's a corporation or your all cap name is this or that. It is whatever you want it to be. And it's a mechanism which separates your commercial life from your private life. Okay, so when you walk in that door and you're saying hello to the wife or husband and the children and everything else, that person stays outside and you walk in that door. When you walk outside, you're in the public, and that's how you operate with people. It is whatever you want it to be. So when somebody says it's a corporation, that's what their person is. They're declaring their person a corporation, which is fine. No big deal. but they don't have the right to say it's a corporation and yours is a corporation too. That is claiming power of attorney for you that they do not have. So I just wanted to make that clear. It is what you want it to be and how you publish it. You have the right, when your person is delivered back to the States of the Union, to define how you want it done. It's not going away. It is what it is. It's not going away. So, since we don't have, getting back to Islam, since we don't have any dual nationality agreements with Islam, and I don't think Islam has any dual nationality agreements because they believe in absolutes, and anybody who's Muslim is part of Islam, and that's it. They don't have any agreements with any other government to say, we'll deal with dual nationality. So, anybody that keeps coming in and they keep bugging us about that, we keep trying to tell them over and over, and we kind of have to get nasty with them because they're not listening. They're not listening to us. Look, if you're Muslim, you're part of Islam. You've already done it. It's over. You've given up your nationality. You've given up any claim you have. Everything goes to Islam.
Islam doesn't have dual nationality either.
Mm-mm.
Because if you don't convert to Islam over there, they kill you.
Right. So if you're claiming Muslim and everything else, it's not that we hate Muslims and don't like them. It's just you don't understand. We can't. And because Islam won't accept it. You can't have both ways. So it's a choice. So, it is what it is. Now, getting back to the Syrian thing, we told you that Trump went to Fordham University and he's a Roman Catholic. We told you that. Roman Catholics have a habit of not liking people that claim to be Christians that don't want to be a part of the Roman Catholic Church. They hate that. So that's why they attack non-affiliated Christians like Baptists and things like that. That's how they are. I heard on a radio program back in the 90s. And it's funny that I still remember this. I was cruising down the highway and I was listening, and there was a guy that said, this is when, I guess maybe a little later, it was in the 2000s, I guess, because this was when that whole thing came out about the priest molesting children. And the radio announcer had some people calling in, and the one guy called in. He says, "Well, it doesn't really matter if you're not Roman Catholic, you don't go to. If you're not Catholic, you don't go to heaven." And the announcer had the best response to that. He says, "I think I'll take my chances," because it was not a good thing the way at the time when all that came out. So that's just their attitude. Now, the Roman Catholic people are not bad people. Their leadership may be kind of sick or sick as hell, but the people themselves are really good people. And they have the best fish. I've said that over and over again. They do have the best fish. They know how to cook a fish, I'll say that. But I have nothing personally against Roman Catholic people. I talk to them, no big deal. Hey, how you doing? And a lot of them are very good and decent people, and they believe in what they believe in. But the problem is their leadership doesn't believe what they believe in. That's a big problem. But you'll have good people in many types of organizations. But the purpose of that religion is to get people to be under that foreign monarch. Big problem. And that's something that needed to be disclosed, because when Mussolini recognized the Pope and the Vatican as a sovereign city-state, its own country, he had to actually notify everybody in all the other countries that were Catholic that their status was being changed to being under the Vatican and actually being subject to the Vatican. Remember, they only have 800 citizens. 800, that's it. But they have billions of subjects, a couple billion subjects. So there's only two statuses there, citizen or subject. They have 800 citizens, and those are the people that live in Vatican City, their guard and all that. And then they have a couple of billion subjects. So you become a subject of Vatican or the monarch over there. And that's what happened when they became a sovereign city-state. So, anywho, that's how that all operates. He really needs to make that notice and tell people. That was a big problem. That was something he could not hide. Their predecessor popes should not have hidden that, and he did. Okay, and on some of the last programs we had, we showed where Islam was created by the Vatican. So the Muslims are actually subjects of the Vatican also, of the Pope. And someone needs to notify them of what's going on. They think they have their own caliphate and their own government, and they really don't. As it goes up the chain, then meaning the caliphates, and as it goes up the chain, they know the truth. The normal Muslims on the street don't know it. They're not taught any of that. That's a big problem. So at any rate, what we're saying is the Syrian thing, if it's all Roman Catholics doing it, they are subject to who? Vatican City. So who actually attacked Syria? Got to remember that. If Great Britain has been turned into a Muslim state, a caliphate, which it has, and we have evidence of that, then the Protestant are kind of null and void over there, and it wasn't really Great Britain that did it. Who did it actually go to? Who actually did it there? In France, look at France. Same thing. So this is literally a city-state within Italy that has invaded France. They've invaded England. They're trying to invade the U.S. that attacked Syria. So who could run Syria? The Vatican. And it goes all the way back to Fordham University, Georgetown University. Where's all this coming from? It comes from there. And since Alex Jones is not a Roman Catholic, he's a Christian, he's kind of out of the loop now. Now he knows the truth on whose side here. Okay, because Trump is working for the Roman Catholics. He's trying to free those people. He doesn't care about everybody else. He cares about the Roman Catholics because that's who he's serving. And those are citizens of the United States or U.S. citizens. So just want to explain a little bit of that. And if you want to get out of all that mess, you can come over to the government of the United States of America. You can go to the United States of America 1781.com and start claiming your nationality. You have all your states ready to go. So all you groups out there that think you have your states together, start using the address. You got to use the address if you want your state. So Michigan Assembly, you need to use the NAC code of Michigan. And you can set up your whole state within the Judicial District of Michigan. Once that's done, and you go to your first elections, you can be part of the North American National Party. You can start your own party. It doesn't matter to us what you do there within the state of Michigan, then you can have your elections. That's how it's done. Okay, but you have to have an address, and that address has been done for you by the General Post Office. That's what we do. So let us do what we do so you can do what you do. You can put the state of Michigan into the union so you're not landlocked, because Michigan is right there. It has really nothing. There's no, it could be landlocked easily. Kansas could be, a lot of these states could be landlocked. And if you want to refuse the original union, now you're landlocking Utah, the state of Utah, or Colorado or something. You're landlocking somebody else. Not good. Have a little bit of empathy on World Empathy Day for your neighbor. So if we can work together instead of all these independent groups that think they know what's going on but can't prove it, and they make all these claims but can't prove any of the claims. Please listen. We're not here to run your government. We're not here to run your state. What we're trying to do is get you to run your state and do it lawfully. We're just going to point you in the direction. It's up to you to do it. We're not going to do it for you, and we're not going to run you or lead you or tell you, tell you what to do for the rest of your life. That's not what it's about. We don't want to tell you what to do. We're trying to get you to run the state of Michigan. If the assembly in the state of Michigan knew what was going on, then they would have had their state together already, and they don't. They would have known that they have 528 private corporations running their state, and they would know the difference between lowercase state of Michigan and upper and lowercase state of Michigan. That's a state within a state. That is a Roman Catholic state within a state. That's why they're all 501c3s, organizations. They're religious organizations, folks. That's what I keep trying to tell you. So please listen. Please look at the evidence and make a decision. If you want to join the union, join the union. You can start your own union over there. It's not a big deal. You have your own constitution and everything. We're trying to get you to self-regulate, self-govern, and all that. Do it on your own. Regardless of what you're hearing and the rumors, no one here wants to tell you what to do. Matter of fact, we try to stop that all the time. We will guide you to what you need to do. You just need to do it. Fair enough? Anything else we need to talk about, John?
No, sir. I think that's enough to boggle their mind for tonight.
You sure we don't want to go over the cannibalism thing again?
Thanks, but no thanks. That kind of has a tendency to curb my appetite.
Well, can you imagine? It's probably just walking into a place that smells like burnt hair. That's disgusting. Anyway.
You wonder where all these people disappear to.
All right. Thanks for listening to the 67th broadcast of the T-ROH Show. We hope you learned something tonight, and we will see you next week.